Chiquita, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to talk to you. We haven't talked in so long, but welcome to Spark TV.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Now, you are a woman of many talents. I knew you from back in the League of Extraordinary Women days. But since then, you obviously have your own PR company. You have Chiquita Eyewear. You're now launching FemmeCon. I'm just like blown away by how much you have bitten off, which is amazing. So I'd love, for the people who are listening today, how did you get here? So was there a career beforehand? Was there something that sparked going into business? Have you always been in business? Tell us the story. Tell us how we got here.
Well, I think I was always destined to be in business because I have issues with authority. I don't like being told what to do. And I think I'm at a point now where I'm actually unemployable. So I don't know. I just always knew that probably having a job wasn't for me forever. I mean, I had my first business when I was 23 with my sister, and that failed dismally.
Really? What was it?
Yeah. We had a unisex fashion boutique in Mackay, which lasted all of 6 minutes.
Cool.
And because I was young, I had really no idea what I was doing, and I was in charge, which was obviously our first mistake.
We all fine.
So yeah, I've had a lot of I don't know, I've always sort of called them failures, and they are, if you look at them in terms of success. If they were successful, they'd still be around, but now I'm in PR, and PR is all about spin, so I just think they were lessons.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also because I was younger, I was probably more emotionally attached to the outcome and my identity being attached to it in terms of my competence. And I've always prided myself on being not a high achiever, but someone who's relatively competent. And yeah, having failed businesses, you start to question yourself a little bit. So but I've had jobs. I mean, I studied HR and psychology at uni, and then actually got into HR and realized I bloody hated it. Worked out in work. I know. Because I know you were out in a mining community, and I remember I was in a mining community in the middle of nowhere in Queensland, and they used to call HR human remains. So we were hated, like they just hated us. So HR, not for me. I was out there, and I think for the first 6 months I was out there 18 months, and for the first 6 months, I think I was on Seek every day looking for another job.
Oh my
but yeah, I guess my label, I have a fashion label called Chi, and then that led me to the League. I think, we connect through the League? I think I had my label when I met you in Brisbane.
You did.
So now I was doing the label and the League simultaneously. Yep. And then I got the opportunity to move to Melbourne for the League and sort of run it nationally, which I accepted and really, really loved. I love the community. I love the events. I love the purpose behind it, sort of bringing women together, encouraging them to start businesses or to continue businesses. Because at the time I was I felt very isolated and lonely in Brisbane. There wasn't a huge entrepreneurial community. I mean, we're talking 2012 now, so 10 years ago. Yeah. And I just didn't have any support, and I would cry daily. Often I wouldn't know what I was crying about, but I was so
that's still happening for me.
I was so anxious about making decisions by myself, and what if it's the wrong decision, and so attached to it being a success. And now I kind of just don't care, but I just have a little bit more of a pragmatic view of the world in general and what is success. I think I've recalibrated what my vision or version of success is over the years as I've failed more and more.
Well, it's also nice when you realize that success or failure isn't linked to your identity, that, when you close the office door and go outside, nobody knows what you do for a living, or that you run a business, or that you've had a great day or a bad day. Like, you're just you as a human, like going out into the world. So I think you need to have that disconnect at some point.
I think so. And I think also there's ego attached to it.
I
have quite a big ego. So I like to, pride myself on doing a good job at things. So when I, don't do well at something, I have in the past really struggled with that. And that's affected my ego / self-confidence / esteem, that kind of thing. So, it's all a work in progress. And I think we're all learning to some degree. I don't think there's any day that I think I know how to do it all at all. but yeah, I mean, I left, oh God, I think I'm giving you a very long rambly answer to.
That's good. No, that's great. Set it up, give everyone the context.
Well, then I moved to Melbourne and I was running the league, and then I left there end of sort of 2015. And I didn't really have a solid plan, and because I've often left jobs without anything to go to, because I just yeah, I'm a big believer if you're no longer happy somewhere or feeling like it's fulfilling you anymore, I think it's better to leave and to open a new door rather than to stay. I just don't believe in staying anywhere that you no longer feel it's a match. So I was just, I
don't mind that, because also you don't then like rush into something bad just to get out. Like I actually like the idea of done, move on, now I can kind of find something new with a fresh perspective.
Exactly. And I also believe in, okay, this is going to sound a bit woo-woo, but I believe in the universe providing. So I don't believe in coincidence. I think everything happens for a reason. So I think that, we are where we're meant to be at any given time. And for me, that was the end of the league. My journey with the league, and I had no plans, and so that left me wide open to something new, and something new found me literally within a week. So, and I just had, a friend of mine had a marketing agency, and she just said to me, she's like, I've got a real estate client, they need some newsletters written, you can write, so just can you do this for me? And I said, yeah, sure. And so she teed that up for me, and they liked my work, and so then I became a copywriter. So I was with them for 12 months just copywriting with this real estate franchise, and they were wonderful to me. And the CEO was a woman, and we got along really well. And then after about 12 months, she said to me, can you do our PR? And I just said, well, I've never actually done PR, but if you want to pay me to learn, then by all means,
why not? Fantastic.
I will do that. And so that's how it all started. And then I started doing their PR, started running their awards, and then we got some runs on the board, and then I got some new clients through the industry, which is great. And just kind of went from there. So that's how
kind of skills
I didn't choose PR chose me. I just still to this day wonder what I'm doing.
No, but I love that too, because so when you think about copywriting or PR, like these are all like foundational skills. I'm a huge believer in a business owner, female or otherwise, having sales and marketing skills. Like I think that people have great creative ideas and kind of forget that someone needs to buy it or you don't have a business. So I actually love being able to go out there and get these skills and kind of like improve your skill set, because that was only going to make all of your businesses more amazing anyway.
Well, with PR also, you have to find the story and the hook, and that's, it's a learned skill. I think some people have a natural ability for that. I'm not one of them. It's sometimes, I'm very comfortable with sort of property ones and business ones, because they've been the majority of my clients. But, so that's where I tend to specialize, NFPs. But yeah, I'm about to do some PR for my event, and I've really never done PR for an event before, so it's kind of a new something new and exciting for me to learn. So, and also I have to which is a bit interesting, because publicists, you're behind the scenes, you're promoting everyone else, and it's a really safe place to be, whereas with this I have to sort of sell myself as part of this package, and I'm like, how do I do that without being like a complete wanker?
Your personal brand. Gotta love that. I'm doing the PR for my clients, and I'm working on FemmeCon now, which is taking up quite a lot of time. I actually forgot how time-consuming events are. Oh, sorry. Oh, we've got a visitor. No, I love
visitors. Hello.
Hello. Everyone listening will be like, what the hell? We have just had a little cat visitor. I love it.
Yeah, it's a pussy palace in here. I've got 4 of them.
4? Oh my God.
Yeah, I think I'm probably overcommitted, but I just see their little faces and I just can't say no.
Oh.
And I just think, well, I can give them a good home, so why wouldn't I? But I am definitely at capacity, so no more.
Yeah, I don't know how you're doing 4. That's insane.
Well, they sleep 20 hours a day, to be fair. So, I don't really have to do a lot except feed them and give them a bit of attention and,
And clean up after them?
Yes, clean up after the kitty litter, yes. But, I don't have to walk them or anything. And, it's like, but minimal. I think a lot of people have children and,
oh my God.
I think that's a far bigger responsibility and one that I don't really want. So, you know, cats are probably my maximum because they sleep a lot and I have to do very minimal for them. So
I love it. That's
yeah.
awesome. I'm on board. I'm very much on board.
Have any? Do you have
I did have 2 cats, and I struggled.
Where are they?
I actually rehomed them before we moved to Kalgoorlie. So I know it was literally, I cried for a whole day.
Oh God.
I know.
That would be so hard.
Crazy. But yeah, at the stage that I was in life, I just went, you know, I can't give you everything you need, and I want you to have a much more loving home. And it was at that stage right before my partner and I moved in together. So I was spending all my time at his house, and then I was like, oh my God, you're so neglected. I'm like, no, it's time to part ways. Now I'm trying to convince my partner to get a rabbit, but I'm not being very successful.
Hopefully she'll stop jumping up.
No, that's okay. She's always welcome.
Oh, I just love her.
So then where does Chiquita Eyewear fit in?
Well, so that happened in 2018. I had somewhat of a mental breakdown. And, you know, I think we're all due 1 or 2 throughout our time. And, you know, that was certainly a big one for me. About June 2018, I had been going really well with my PR agency. I was, you know, the profit and loss was looking really healthy. And then, you know, I got too arrogant. I got too smug and comfortable, Danny. I, you know, was like, oh, we're going so well, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as I said that, within 10 days, I lost 80% of my income, like a couple of months. Yeah. So a few of my clients then sort of hit the skids with cash flow issues and stopped. Obviously, PR's the first thing to go. Quick, you know, a quick expense you can get rid of. And then, and I just, lost. I had to put off I had about 5 or 6 contractors working for me. And so then I had to put them all off. And then I had a client who was new. I'd had for a couple of months and who didn't end up paying. So that was a really good lesson, actually, because before then I didn't actually realize that people just don't pay. They literally hire you with no intention. And I didn't know that.
It's a really shit lesson you have to learn sometimes.
Such a shit lesson, but a really good one. And because I had people sign contracts and stuff and all of that thing, thinking, well, that's watertight. And then I went through the process of trying to recoup the money. And as small businesses, we actually have I spent about $3,000 trying to chase this money, and they honestly they were not rattled in the slightest. They had done this before to a much greater degree, as I learned later, and were very comfortable with not paying.
Yeah, I know. It is an outrage, to be honest. Like I had the same
lesson to learn
with Scrunch, like a couple of huge influencer campaigns that we had started contracting influencers. So then we were obligated to pay them, and the client never paid us. So we end up losing money. It was so bad. I mean, to be fair, it could have been a lot worse. Like we kind of picked up that they weren't going to pay early on, thank God, but it was so horrible.
It's a horrible experience, and then having to chase the money, and then I had to use money that I had saved for me personally to pay the contractors who'd been working on their campaign for a couple of months, and there were multiple, and it was social media, it was PR, you know, there's copywriting. It was a good lesson to learn, though. So now I don't even bother with contracts anymore, and I just say I invoice everyone on the first of the month. If you don't pay, I stop work. You know, the thing is, though, I have really good clients now, very long-term clients, really established relationships, and I have, you know, no qualms about it. But new clients, it takes me a while to go, okay, well, you need to pay, and you need to pay on time, and they're generally really good
in advance.
But it was just a really good lesson to learn, because I thought, well, contracts don't matter, and if someone chooses not to pay, then, you know, that's that. So I think it's but a good lesson to learn. So no pay, no work.
I think that is like a fabulous, like, everyone who's listening, get paid in advance as much.
And don't feel guilty about it. That's the thing. You know, get that money up front, because you need to know they can pay. And so I just send it before I even start work. I always say you pay the first invoice before I even start work. I don't care anymore.
No,
if they want the work done, they'll pay the money.
Exactly. And I think
clients who have the money in their bank. You want to be chasing clients, you need to assert the boundary and the expectation up front, which is, you know, what I do now, and just pay within the terms. And Yeah.
Exactly. It's like the only thing a client's committing to is paying the invoice and supplying any information. You're the one doing the work, so it has to be both parties.
Exactly. So yeah, so I lost that was really, and then I think because I realized I just fell apart. I literally was crying every day, and I'm not an overly emotional person, so I couldn't work out what's wrong with me. And I was like crying. I was carrying on like a pork chop. I just couldn't work out all this emotion, and I think I was just so exhausted that I could no longer I didn't have the capacity to cope with my own emotion. And then I realized I hadn't had a holiday in literally 8 years, because I do enjoy working, but I'd never given myself a break. And so I did. I gave myself 3 months off, and I didn't work, and it was really lovely. And then I went back to PR part-time for a couple of years. But in that time, I realized that only having one income was a risk as a single woman. I don't have wealthy parents or parents, or family who can provide money for me. I don't have a partner. So I think as women, we need to make sure that we're protecting ourselves financially. And so I realized, well, I need a second income. So the eyewear did start out as, okay, well, e-commerce is, I thought, a good business model. We're going to be buying more online in the future. Yeah. And so I started to look into it. I went to Hong Kong to find a manufacturer, and then obviously I launched it, and then COVID hit. So then because I just started with sunnies, and then COVID hit, so I realized, well, we're at home. So instead of doing more sunnies, I did blue light eyewear.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so it's been around since August 2019, but I've been working on it for a good 12 months prior, I think. I did a small e-commerce course, and I mean, to this day, I still don't know everything. I know literally 1%, and some people are, but it's become a side hustle now. During COVID, I hustled a bit with it, but because I had a bit more time. But now I'm just so busy with PR and FemmeCon that it's become a side hustle again. Yeah. So
but I love that, the side hustle is great, because exactly as you said, we need multiple revenue streams. We need to diversify. We need to mitigate the risk. So it's smart, whether it's it
needs to be making money, and it's not making me money because I'm not really doing anything with it. It's kind of sitting there, and I'm not promoting it. I'm not spending money on it because it's my least favorite child at the moment. So no attention. So I actually need to work on it a little bit more steadily and consistently, but I'm just struggling with time at the moment. FemmeCon's not far away, and there's so much to do still.
So let's talk about FemmeCon. What is the event idea? Who's coming along? Let's talk about that, because that's cool.
Well, I've started with my best friend Shani. So she and I sort of in December, I was on a walk with a friend, and I just came to me, it's like, oh my God, I want to do events again. Because I really, really loved the league, and I really loved the purpose and the event and the community and everything behind it. And I think coming out of COVID, where we're all working from home, we're all feeling incredibly isolated. The events industry is completely decimated. And I think we are connected and digitally connected. I think online we are very, very, probably too much to be honest. I think we're a bit overstimulated online, to be honest. We've got too many options now. But I think I'm not a big connector online. What I do enjoy though is the face-to-face. I really struggle with online connection, but I need to feel someone's energy. I need to see them face-to-face. I need to be beside them. I need to be able to touch them and hear them. And also I just really love events. And so I said to Shani, let's do an event. And she's like, okay, let's do it. And yeah, it's just started to come together. We got the name together, and we started the website and everything. We've got, but we wanted to focus more on, because it's the purpose of the FemmeCon in general is to encourage women to embrace their full force feminine power. And it's, we want to encourage women to build a feminine economy and buy from each other. We want them, but also it's not just about business and entrepreneurship. It's about, love, sex, dating. It's about, other pillars, money and mindset, that I think are crucial to a woman who is living in her power. I think trying to compartmentalize these different elements of our lives, it just doesn't work anymore. I think we need to be able to bring it all together and know that these are some key pillars that we need to feel fulfilled in if we want to actually be, relatively happy. So
you're spot on. And also it all meshes, right? If you're not personally all over your money, you're not managing
or your mindset, the positive mental health, because mindset's about, your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual health. If we don't have that, we literally have nothing. Money is so key. Entrepreneurship, I think that in my opinion, I think it's good for women to have more than one income. So a lot of women lost jobs during COVID. We're now in the pink recession because a lot of female, dominated industries were decimated, retail, events, tourism, a lot of women suffered, and who's to say that they've got jobs now? Well, so I just think that it's important for women to protect themselves financially. A man is not a financial plan.
No.
And also people are in relationships where potentially they're not supported financially by their partner, or they could be controlled and actually be, there could be financial abuse at play. So I just think for women, it's really important to know what, to manage your own money.
Yeah. And have the education, like I think it's really daunting for a lot of people, like depending on how you grew up, depending on what your values are, depending on the type of relationship you're in, it is quite daunting. Money is one of those topics that not enough people talk about. It's having
to be in poor taste, isn't it? It's like one of those taboo things, like it's in poor taste if you talk about money, how much you earn, what does your business do, what's your revenue. People are very secretive and they hold these things really close to their chest. And I think, which is fine, but I think also we need to encourage women to be more greedy and to be capitalist. I'm a capitalist, I want to make money. I want to have a comfortable lifestyle, and I feel no shame in saying that. Because I think money gives you freedom, it gives you choices.
It helps you make a impact.
It does, and that's the thing. It's
amazing things.
If you're worried about being greedy, because like we grew up with a lot of that chatter around, rich people are greedy, or I don't know. There was a lot of what were the old sayings?
Like the money doesn't grow on trees.
Money doesn't grow on trees, and
stupid sayings. Yeah,
people are evil or whatever. I don't know what they were. Totally. I've completely forgotten them because I want to be a rich person. But so that crap. Yeah. It's completely out of my mind. But I just think women need, they should be trying to make bank as much as possible, and don't be ashamed of that, be proud of that, and manage it yourself. Don't give it away to a bloody man.
Exactly. Like it's long gone are the days where you have to have a joint bank account and he's the breadwinner and you're looking after the kids or staying home. And yes, you can still do those things. I'm not.
Oh, you can if you want, by all means. But I mean, I think it's.
Yeah, but
I would never. I've shared money before once, and I will never ever do it again. Ever.
Yeah, I don't think I'd do it again either.
No. So I don't care who gives the love of my life. Sorry.
I don't find it empowering with doing like the shared bank account type thing. Like I'm like, we can
need for it. Go 50 halves and things. I don't really care.
Yeah. Well, like I got this one, you get next one, whatever.
I'm a shopper, I've had quite a few boyfriends who, provided a lot of commentary around how much I spend in clothes. And I'm like, well, you're not wearing them. It's not your money. So
exactly.
I'll spend what I want to spend. Thanks, buddy.
Totally. And if it's an issue now, it's going to be a bigger issue now.
I will choose my clothes over you any day of the week. So.
Yeah, exactly. I actually have my priorities, and
we don't care less. You can, I don't care how you spend your money. Please don't provide any feedback or commentary on how I spend mine.
Yeah. Well, but I think the thing is like women need to be able to have open conversations with
each other.
Well, with each other, with the men if they're in relationships with, but they can't. I think we need to start with ourselves so we can feel empowered and we can know what our values around money are. Because I think sometimes people are hesitant to talk about it because they're not sure kind of where they land. Like they don't know what the right thing is, what they particularly align to, because they haven't had enough conversations or education.
Correct. And, I'm not great with money. I'm not even going to say that I'm like savvy or anything. I'm not even going to but I have a lot to learn, but my first port of call is, I'm happy to earn it. I really like earning money and I charge for my time. I'm not cheap and I never will be. And FemmeCon's not a cheap event and it never will be because we're providing value. And the thing is people always prioritize what they value. And so if someone says to us, or to anyone really, I can't afford what service you're providing, I was like, that's not true. Because if you had the money, because we can all find money for things that are we prioritize.
That's right.
It just means that that's not a priority for you. And that's okay. Exactly. Spend it on great wine. Go to town. But yeah, I think saying I don't have any money is actually an excuse sometimes.
Absolutely. It is. It's just kind of a fallback. And it's also really dangerous saying those words. It really, puts out into the universe what you do and don't value. And the continual excuse of I don't have money is a really dangerous thing to keep saying for yourself, I think.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I try to not say that. And I mean, I hope that and also I think
There's so much going on
these days, because it's really hard sometimes to have opinions, because we live in a really polarizing society where everyone we're becoming more woke, and every time you say something that someone doesn't agree with, we're privileged, or we're
totally.
all that stuff. So I just, when I say, I mean, yeah, that's the thing.
I would hope that
I'm quite opinionated, and I sometimes say
things good people. Yeah.
Oh, am I going to get cancelled?
No. Look, the thing is, so I love the conversation because I've made no secret of the fact that, so obviously there are plenty of female founder programs on the planet right now. Like, we're all doing our thing for the female founders. Spark, as an example, is all about sales and marketing, because I believe the number one skill of a founder or business owner should be making money.
Correct. Thank you. There's no point having a business if it does not make money, because you're not in business.
Yeah. I could not agree with you more. So I'm super happy to have that honest conversation around money, because that's what we do at Spark, where it's all about how do we teach women in business how to make more money.
Well, I think it's empowering as well, because sometimes you need permission, even though we try and validate ourselves. Sometimes you need that permission from another party, an external party, who says, yes, go and make that money. And because I think that it gives us that little bit more empowerment and support and permission, because sometimes I feel like we need permission, we don't, but it's that psychological barrier sometimes that we need to get over. And when you've got other women around you who are also like, I want to make money, and I want to be financially independent, and I want to have choices, and there should be no apology around that.
Absolutely. So when is FemmeCon this year?
August 12th, so 26 days away. It's imminent, still a lot to be done, but the gift bags are looking very good. They're worth over $700 each. So we've been very fortunate with our brand partners. They've been incredibly generous.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
We'll make sure we link up everything so that people can the event as well.
Perfect. Thank you. You would love that.
No, I'm all about it. And again, it's I always say this to women in business as well. It's there is not it's unlimited. The pie is unlimited.
That's what I think as well. If we support each other doing what, then I think I just think there's so much money out there. There really is. I think that because I know after COVID, everyone's saying people aren't spending money, the people who don't have money. People do have money. There is more money out there. There's a lot of money in the world. And if you keep telling yourself that there's no money, then that's going to be the reality for you. But that a reality is not available to me, and we're hoping to sell this out, and it's our first event, so it's a big it's a tall order, and it's a big goal. But if we don't believe that and tell ourselves that every day and keep working towards that outcome, then we're giving up before we even gave it a crack. And we're just not going to do that.
That's so cool. I love that, because that needs to be everyone's attitude in business.
Oh, it's bloody scary though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah.
Every day I'm like, oh my God, are we gonna do it? Of course we're gonna do it.
Yeah, totally. Just flip-flop back and forth. No, we're fine.
If we don't give it a go, then how will we know? And I don't even care if we don't fully sell it out. I don't even care. At least we're doing it, and at least we're giving it a go, and we're in the arena doing our best. It's
exactly.
We've got some great speakers, and we've got boutique pop-ups. We've got a female DJ. It's fully catered. We've got a gelato cart. There's so much happening. We've got kombucha.
I'm so devastated. I'm going to be in Canada. I'm so devastated. I know. That's why I'm just going to share the shit out of it, so everyone can live vicariously through everybody else.
Thank you. I really appreciate the support, because coming back into events after a 7-year hiatus is, I forgot how much there is to do. And when I was working at the league, I actually had a team. I had a team of about 4, and then we had interns as well who were amazing. So there was, what is it? The saying, many hands make light work.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was kind of more delegating and then doing the bulk of the work. And now I'm doing the work. So
it's insane.
Yeah, I sometimes wonder what I'm thinking.
Well, interesting segue. So you've got a lot going on, which I love. But how do you actually, you mentioned a few years ago when things kind of went awry, having a bit of a mental breakdown. How do you manage that, all of this stuff on the go now? Like, how do you actually look after you as a person in business?
Do you know what? I think I was struggling with my mental health then, and because I've asked this question, what am I doing differently now? Because I'm doing PR now. I was doing some, I started the Eyewear through the depression and stuff, so, but I think it's I got my health under order, my physical health. So during COVID, I started walking literally every day because, we leave
cool.
the house, to walk. And so I'd go out, and I know I was only meant to be out there for an hour, but I'd walk at least like 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
Well, and it kind of got my mental health back on track, and I got fitter. So I started monitoring, because I put on a lot of weight when I moved to Melbourne, and I think that was a reflection of my mental state, and I just didn't really realize.
Yeah.
So I just changed a few of my behaviors to kind of help support myself get back into a healthier frame of mind. So that was walking, because obviously gyms were closed for 2 years. So walking, I did a lot of I engaged coaches. So I did a lot of personal development work. I did a lot of working through my emotional trauma and triggers. I did self-directed healing. I also started working with a coach, Talia, and I think I'd felt quite lost since I left the league. And I think a lot of us do feel lost, and because I'm a big believer in purpose. We have a purpose, we're here for a reason, and without fulfilling that purpose and our potential, I think we do feel lost and a little bit, adrift at sea. And so I did this exercise. It's which we are actually going to recreate at FemmeCon. Actually, we are doing it at FemmeCon, and it was going to be a surprise on the day. But it's I did an exercise with this coach, and it basically she puts you into your feminine power. Like, so she takes you through a process that helps you envisage your best life, and it's a really powerful exercise, which we're going to be doing. It's the first thing that we do on the day. So it gets everyone into that mind frame that anything is possible. So we're putting them into a state where they envisage their best life before they then experience the rest of the day. And so that doing that exercise was literally so game changing for me. And it just put me completely back on track in terms of what I wanted in my life, because I'd been adrift and I'd lost a lot of confidence. I just wasn't sure what I was meant to be here for. And that kind of was just game changing for me, and it just put me back on track. And I saw things there that I just hadn't thought were possible in my life, and it just gave me the impetus to believe, yes, actually I can do this. So then I started making decisions based on that vision, and that's where I am today. So I wanted to get back into events. I wanted to have a bigger PR agency. I wanted to do the Eyewear. I wanted to do speaking and emceeing, and I'm hoping to start that again. I want to write a book. I wanted to do all these things, and I just hadn't given myself permission or for a while to believe in myself again. And because I had this coach, she was believing in me so wholeheartedly, and that's a part of this community as well. We want to bring people together, because sometimes I think you need other people to believe in you as well, because sometimes you just can't carry that burden all on your own. You need other people to reflect back to you what they see in you, so that you believe that you're capable. And so she did that for me, and so it just put me on this trajectory really to get myself back into gear. And I've rejoined the gym, and so I've got my physical health in order. I read a lot, I listen to podcasts, but also the thing that's changed the most for me in terms of my mental health is I'm happy. Like I'm really fulfilled work-wise. Like I love the PR, I love my clients, I'm loving doing this event. I enjoy my Eyewear. I don't know, I just feel purposeful again. And I think it was just these set of steps that kind of got me to that point. But that exercise where she put me into my power, that was just it. Like it was just this moment in time, a core memory now that just set me up. And this is what we're doing at FemmeCon. It's the first order of the day. It's the first activity we're going to be doing. It was meant to be a surprise, but now
I'm sorry spoiled that for everybody. Oh my god.
No, it was so game changing for me. I said to Shani, I really want to do this for other women. I want them to feel what I felt, because it's just it's so powerful. And we've called it the Portal of Feminine Power, I think. Portal of Feminine Power.
That is just so incredible, because I think that I'm just as you're talking, I'm just sitting here reflecting on my businesses, my life. And I think you are right. Like, I feel like we just get trapped in our to-do lists and kind of forget what the fuck we're doing here. And I just love the idea that you're giving women the opportunity to kind of stop and really feel and understand what's important and what lights them on fire. Like, that is so cool.
We forget that. We really do it, especially if you're struggling with mental health. And I think a lot of us do struggle with that. Which is, you know, I think there's
business not to
have some form of anxiety or maybe some depression, you know, which is kind of our standard now. And so, but also these kind of things help with the coping mechanisms in terms of, well, if you feel you're on purpose, you know, it's the 80-20 rule. If you feel like you were doing meaningful work for 80% of the time, you're happy and fulfilled, like it gives you the strength to cope with the 20% where you're not feeling like you're feeling a little bit lost, or you're being it's a full moon, you're being traumatized by a family trigger or something. And whatever it is.
No, and look, I love that it's, you know, the answer is you've got to do the work.
You've got to do the work. And I know it's uncomfortable sometimes, and I'm not good with emotions. I'm not good with the work in terms of I don't enjoy the work. I don't like talking about my feelings. I detest vulnerability. I don't like any of it, but I'll do it because I know it's going to help me. And I've got a lot more because I've done some work and worked with some really great coaches. I've now got a lot of more coping strategies to actually help me through the times when I'm not feeling 100%. And so I can process my emotion and whatever's happening a lot faster and move through it. Whereas before I didn't. Like when I had the breakdown in 2018, I didn't have any of these skills. I was not coping at all. I didn't know what was happening. I was so confused, and, you know, it was horrible. But if that's, we need to seek out people that can help us, and I did, and it's been really, really helpful for me. So I'm actually starting therapy again on the weekend. So I found a therapist, and because I haven't done any sort of emotional work since December. So, you know, I'm like, well, I've had 6 months off, so now it's time to get back into it and sort of unpack a bit more.
And that's so good, because the lesson I feel is there's help. Like, it doesn't matter, you know, you touched on so many different things in terms of the physical, the mental, the emotional, the, you know, the feminine power, the what do I want for my, like, there's so many things there, and there is a solution to each one of those. There is somebody amazing out there that can help you and guide you and coach you through whichever piece of the puzzle is kind of lacking from your life.
Exactly. And we're not meant to be islands, you know, we're not meant to do all this ourselves. Women, well, people in general are meant for connection and real connection, and not just digital technological connection, I can't speak. But, you know, we need that face-to-face, we need that engagement, we need the energy exchange, and I just don't think it happens over Zoom or, you know, in a Facebook group or whatnot. I think we need to physically, you know, hug each other and see each other and feel the energy, and the energy of 300 women in a room.
Oh my God.
All being empowered and inspired, and a female DJ. And, you know, it's just, we hope to just really provide the feeling that, you know, you can really do anything.
Oh my God, I love that so much. Okay, so last one for you to end the podcast. If you had one piece of advice you could give to a woman in business who might be struggling right now, what would it be?
Take action. I'm very big on the action, because I just think when we get in our heads, we can overanalyze, we can overthink things, and then we actually talk ourselves into not doing anything. And I think that's the worst thing we can do. Even if you're not doing the right thing all the time, at least you're taking action. And if you need to and that means that you'll make the mistake faster, and then you can redirect your course. But I just think the biggest thing is just take action, and don't look to, if something's not going right, don't look to external factors to sort of disempower yourself by placing blame elsewhere. By taking action, you actually can control and take control back and feel empowered. So even if it's scary, even if it's like anxiety inducing and your heart's in your mouth, just do it anyway, and don't think. Just stop thinking. Like, I don't think about things very quickly, otherwise I wouldn't be doing FemmeCon. I wouldn't be doing half the things I am doing if I thought about them. Like, I don't think anything through. It's something occurs to me, I'm like, if it feels good, my whole strategy for making decision is, does this feel good? Yes, I'll do it. Does it feel bad? No, yes, I won't do it. Like, that's it. That's it. If it feels good in my body, I'll do it. If it doesn't feel good, I won't do it. Like, I don't think about anything too deeply. I just take action. And if it goes well, I'm so happy. If it doesn't, what have I lost? I probably learned a few things along the way. I might have met new people. I might have got a new opportunity on the other side of that door. Who knows? If I hadn't done the eyewear, I wouldn't have met Shani, and I wouldn't be doing FemmeCon.
Wow.
Take action.
That is absolutely incredible. You are incredible, Chiquita. Thank you so much.
Far too kind.
No, not at all. I'm not being kind enough. You are literally incredible. Thank you for spending your time and wisdom with the Spark community. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.